you
The very,
with the century?
the bottom of it right here. Right there. What did that say?
Department of History.
Yeah.
2009.
So this come from historians. This is what a historian said. It says right here, these Israelites and other free African Americans. It shows it put Israelites and African Americans together. What is an Israelite? You know who that is? What that is, Pope? You don't know what an Israelite is? You never heard of that? So an Israelite is the nation that God chose. What you read in the Bible. A nation that God chose, and that it means prince of the power. These people, these Israelites here, they was created to govern the earth in righteousness. That's why they was created. The Most High created those folks to be the rulers of the earth. The rulers. But get Proverbs 28 for me real quick. 28 and 2. I want to show you something, Pope. You believe in God, right? It's 28 and 2, right? Is it 29? Yeah. Come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
So the scriptures say when the righteous is in authority, the Israelites, they was created to govern the earth in righteousness. It says when the righteous is in authority, the world rejoice. Is the world rejoicing right now? The world is not rejoicing. Come on.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
So when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Isn't there a whole bunch of mourning going on? You got COVID going crazy. You got the world trying to tell you got to take vaccines. In certain countries, they make it mandatory. And the people, they don't like that. They mourning over that. You got police brutality. We mourning over that. We got our own killing each other. So the wicked is in rulership. So now we got to sit back and think, because it says when the righteous is in authority, the whole world rejoice, and God created Israel to be righteous rulers. Now we got to sit back and think and ask ourselves, who are the Israelites today? Because they got to get back in authority. Because I know you tired of mourning, right? I'm tired of mourning. All you look around the whole land, our people are tired of mourning, but they don't know the solution. And when they hear the solution, they don't want to apply action to it. Right.
It's been like this here for 56 years. Heard up every day.
Yeah.
Won't change. It's real not bad ones who trying to make the change.
What happened 50, 60 years ago? What happened 50, 60 years
56 years ago? Now, I just turned 62. I have seen a lot of things in my life.
Remember the Civil Rights Act?
Yeah.
You know how people was in the streets getting attacked by dogs?
Mic them up. Give them the mic.
Once they wind up setting that up, and then usually when they see, like you see LA riots and all that stuff happening, when they see our people getting out of control, as they would consider it, burning things because they're upset about the oppression that they've been put under. Then when they start to physically react, the government comes down, they wise up and be like, you know what, let's give them jobs. Let's give them equal opportunity. And then our people put the suit and the tie on, they go right back to normal. Always.
Get that.
There's never no equal opportunity. There's never been equal opportunity. It's not.
But the thing is, our people, all the answers is right here in this book. But the people that put us in slavery, they changed the mind of the people how to look at this book. Because when people see this book, they think Christianity. That automatically, boom, Christianity. That's what they think. But they don't care to open it and read it. Because if I was to come to you and be like, you know what, 2 + 2 is 87. And I keep drilling that on your head, does that make it right or wrong? It make it wrong, because you learn math from a book and you realize 2 + 2 is 4. But nobody want to open up the book and read about Christ and realize Christ is a so-called black man. You know that, right? No, I'm saying that Christ is a so-called black man. Right. Right. So if they say, they come to you, they say that, you know, you ever heard of the Sabbath? They said, what day does the Sabbath say the Lord chose? The seventh day. What day is the seventh day? Nah. Nah. When you look at a calendar, what day is the seventh day? What's the first day of the week? What's the first day of the week? Let me show you real quick. Nah, it's not Monday. So this is a calendar right there. At the top, you see the letters. What's the first day of the week right there on the calendar? Nah, the first day of the, when you look at the calendar at the top, you got S, M, T. Nah. Sunday. That's
Hey, shalom, bro.
Oh, I probably misheard you.
We out here, man.
So
Swing through.
So if Sunday is the first day of the week, and they telling you that that's the Sabbath, and the Lord chose the seventh day, which is actually today, what that tell you about Christianity? They done lied to you what Christ looked like. They done lied to you about the holy Sabbath. What that tell you?
Shalom, you man. Happy Sabbath, bro.
So they lied about everything. I'm about to show you the major thing that they lied about. Get Deuteronomy, drop that. Because this is important to know, realize who you are, because you're not black and you're not African American. This is where it first starts. Where are you gonna actually walk on the side of the Lord? Or are you not? Because our whole life we haven't. That's why you see all these atrocities happening to our people, because the Lord is upset with us because we're not following him. We just going along with the nation that put us in slavery. They tell us to celebrate Christmas. Guess what? We celebrate Christmas, but in the Bible it tells you not to celebrate. Come on.
Sure.
You can stay right there. So you familiar with the story of Moses? You remember he was in Egypt and he went to Pharaoh and was like, let my people go, because his people was in slavery. So after the Lord blessed them, led them out through the sea, you remember that, the Red Sea, split the sea, and then they went into this land. And when they went into the land, they obtained laws. This was told to them if they was to keep the laws. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So Moses, the Lord told Moses to tell the nation of Israel after they got out to sea, because he obtained the laws. He came back down with the tablets, came down with the laws to govern the people. He tells them, if we keep these laws that God gave us, he's going to put us on high above all nations. But Christianity tell you equal with everybody, don't it? But this right here tells you that the Israelites, if they keep the laws, they'll be above all nations. Because remember what we opened up with. When the righteous is in authority, the whole world rejoices. So this was the laws that they were supposed to govern the earth with. Now let's get the flip side of it if the Israelites did not keep the law.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if the Israelites did not keep the laws of God in the future, because it said it shall come to pass, meaning a prophecy, it's going to happen to this nation in the future, that curses is going to come upon them and overtake them in the future. So is curses good or bad? Bad. So let's get the major curse that's going to happen to the Israelites. Because we remember curses is going to happen to them in the future. We read in the Bible, the Israelites did not keep the commandments. Over and over again, they did not keep them. They was rebellious. So we going to see a big curse that happened to these folks. Come on.
Bring it out.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Stop right there. It says the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. I mentioned it earlier a little bit. What status did the Israelites have in Egypt? Nah. Pharaoh and them was kings. They're Egyptians. The Israelites, because don't you remember Moses went to them and was like, let my people go. Moses was an Israelite. So what type of status did they have? They were slaves. They were slaves. Watch this. You got it? 5 and 6. They were slaves under Pharaoh. That's why Moses had to go to Pharaoh and was like, let my people go. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
So the Lord called Egypt the house of bondage. Egypt and bondage is synonymous. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 so we can understand what Moses is telling the people that's going to happen to them in the future. Come on. Oh, what's another word for bondage, Pope?
Chained, locked up.
Right. Right. Slavery, you mentioned slavery, captivity, being bond, chains, shackles. Come on.
And the Lord, Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So let's read that again, but let's read it with the understanding that we have now, because the Lord called Egypt bondage. So it says, in the future, if the Israelites didn't keep the commandments, they will go into bondage again with ships. They will go into slavery again with ships. They will go into captivity again with ships. So we in the future, this was going to happen to the Israelites in the future. Who is the only nation that went into slavery with ships? Let's just stop right there, because the Lord is not a liar. We understand that Israel rebelled. They didn't keep the commandments. A curse that was going to happen to them, one of them is they were going to go in slavery again with ships. Huh? Nah, because Israel and Egypt is side by side. There's no body of water that you need a ship to go. So who was the only nation that went in slavery through ship? Huh? You said African? Let me show you this sign right here. What's that? Didn't we go in slavery through ships? Oh, you talking about African American? Oh, my bad. So that happened to us, right? So what would that make us?
That would make us in bondage.
Nah, but what that would make our nationality? Nah. The Israelites. Israelites.
When y'all gonna be back out here?
We don't know. We travel from place to place, so.
There's a number on that car. It's called it you drop something.
I'll give y'all a haul as soon as I get a chance.
God's will.
So we have to realize how important our nationality is, you so-called black and Hispanics. We have to realize that we are actually the children of God. We are actually the sons of God. And once you realize that, whatever next move you got to do, you'll realize what's more important. Me shopping, me having something to do, me having somewhere to go, it's not important to realizing who you really are, because once you understand who you really are, you will start to understand what you got to get back to and how to stop all these problems in your community. But every time I see some of our people that mourn for their people, they throw these events for their community, but what they do? Sing, laugh, and dance. But they trying to fix the problems. Throwing an event, cooking food for your people is not going to solve anything. Encouraging your people to take vaccines is not going to solve anything. Situations where your employer will have you to work on these days, but if you send the prayers up and you have that faith, the Lord can get you through anything. We travel from place to place, but there's a number on that flyer. Just give us a call. You about to go into work now? You late? You on break? Well, we right here if you want to, we'll chop it up.
Get a sandwich, come on back.
All right, so let's get Proverbs 1. Let's get Proverbs 1. No, we good.
Oh, ye of little
We have
faith.
we have to realize who we are as a people, sisters. We have to realize who we are as a people, brother. We have to. Aren't you tired of all these things going on? But it seems like we live day to day. We cry and we sigh, but at the end of the day, we don't care as a nation. We really don't care. All we worried about is how to make the next move or get some money. How to make the next move to get some money, or how to make the next move to get the baddest chick on the earth, or how to make the next move to sleep with a woman, how to put an outfit together so I can get all the attention. That's all we care about as a nation. But yeah, all these other nations is making moves, big time moves. But we sit back and we just care about materialistic things. Howbeit, you so-called black and Hispanics is the best creation that God ever created. But we don't even want to listen to it. We don't even want to sit back and digest it. Come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets.
The Bible say wisdom crieth without. Wisdom uttereth her voice in the street. For all those that believe in God and all those that believe in the Bible, you should be wanting to try to obtain wisdom. The Bible say the wisdom crieth in the streets. The Lord say the wisdom is in the streets. So you should be wanting to go to the streets. Wherever you hear wisdom cry, you should be able to want it to obtain something by that. But come on.
Verse 21. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
How long are you simple ones going to love simplicity? How long are you going to love Black Lives Matter? You see that thing only lasted for what, 5 months? Then the world going back to how it's going. Yeah, it had so-called black people dying during it. But yet, Black Lives Matter. You see how they doing the ones that's obtaining money, all the so-called black people that's obtaining money? Oh, nah, Chauncey Billups, nah, man. Nah, you can't. You was, just remember that you was trying to, what was it? Allegedly rape somebody. Remember that. Even though you got this high promotion, remember what you once did 20 years ago. Allegedly. But yeah, you got all these so-called white owners still raping folks. confirmed killers or not, they don't say not one thing. But how long are you going to love simplicity though? How long are you going to say you're going to stand up for your nation and not do anything? Cooking for your nation is not going to solve anything. Playing music for your nation is not going to solve anything. Look at the monument now, man. Look at it. All you got to do is swing by there. All you going to see is so-called white people looking at it and like, yo, this is a mockery. It's like a museum now. And yet all the same things that's happened on the face of the earth. All the same thing. I remember when Black Lives Matter first started and my coworker had interviews with the news and he was saying he was going to die behind this stuff and this is going to really change. But yet nobody thought about all the times that we was marching in the 70s and the 80s. Nobody thought about all them times. It's just a different name attached to it, Black Lives Matter. And it ain't work back then. Why you think it's going to work now? Hold that Ecclesiastes 3:15. Why you think it's going to work now? But yet all the answers is in the Bible, but you don't want to hear what the Lord got to say. You don't want to hear it. But howbeit, it's so beautiful. If you take time and read the laws, it's so beautiful. God's laws is so beautiful if you take time out and read them. Because it will solve every problem that we have in our communities. Come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1:15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been.
So the Lord is trying to show you there's no new thing on the face of the earth. Just because it's new to you, don't mean it's new to you, new on the earth. The so-called white man been killing us. The black on black crime, we been killing each other. It's not new. Black Lives Matter, stomping in the streets, marching in the streets, is not new. It's not going to solve nothing. Protesting is not new. It's not going to solve nothing. Voting for your oppressors to keep you in slavery is not new. You know what? I just realized how we going to fix the problems. We got to vote for a different president. That's not new, man. We've been doing this for how long? You think America is for you so-called black and Hispanics when it's the same people that put you in slavery? Come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past.
See, God requireth which is past. What we obtained before slavery. What you so-called black and Hispanics have obtained before slavery. The laws, the statutes, the commandments. That's what he required of you. Not you going but in society as a black person, African American, Hispanic, a Native Indian. He don't require these things of you. He requires you to be an Israelite. From the tribe of Judah, Simeon, Levi, Ephraim. To keep the laws, to come back to the high holy days. This is what he requireth of you, man. Come on.
Verse 16. And moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
So he's seen under the sun, we under the sun right now, a place of judgment, that wickedness is there. We understand wickedness is everything opposed to the laws of God. It's the Sabbath day, and what we doing? Buying and selling what we not supposed to be doing. But yet you see all these judgments Friday night, Saturday. You see all our people dying. People getting vaccines, still getting COVID. All these judgments. And you see a place of righteousness, you see that wickedness is there. What's going on in the land of Israel? What's going on? Gay parades.
Yeah.
All you see is wickedness. The brother Pope just understood that wickedness is going throughout the earth.
Cup runneth over.
But all we want to do is be simple. Buy the next Jordans. Chase the next girl. But not realizing that we a nation of people. You should be thinking that's your sister. But your mind telling you, oh, I just want to smash and leave. What other nation is treating a woman like that, man? How would you think if that was your daughter? How would you think if that was your sister? You see it on these TV shows all the time. It's reality though, where a best friend would tell his best friend, yo, your sister fine. You think I could get with her? He'd be like, oh, hell nah. We Israelites. What you got something you got to do? Yeah. Nah, I want to ask you a question. Yeah, I want to ask you. You my sister. We family. We not here to hurt you. So you see that happen all the time. The best friend would get with his other brother. I mean, with his sister that looked fine, and he like, nah, you not finna get with my sister, because I know at the end of the day you just trying to smash and leave. We the only nation that treat our sisters like that. You look at the Chinese man, they don't do it. You look at the Arab man, they die behind them things. You conduct yourself over here in America, you take yourself to Iraq and try to do that, Palestine and try to do that, they chopping your arm off for them type of things. But our mind has been under learned behavior by this nation we been brought here in slavery to. So everything we think, do, it stems off of the people that put us in slavery, not in a righteous capacity. So we have to come back to the knowledge of God to clean ourselves up. Come on, where you at? Yeah, go back to Proverbs 1. Back to Proverbs 1. You seen what that sister part?
She was just inquiring, curious.
Nah, I feel like she ran into somebody before and then she didn't have a good experience. Come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse... I started 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. The Bible, the Lord says, fools hate knowledge. You realize what knowledge is? It's the laws of God. Applying the laws of God in your life. Today is the Sabbath day. It's the Sabbath day, but we're ready to walk in the mall and defile the Sabbath. We're not walking in the knowledge of God. This is the problem what we see with our nation. We hear the words of God and we just, yeah, that's true, shake our head, but we don't even want to apply them. But you wonder why the Lord is so mad with you. Or well, they don't even think that. They think it's the devil doing it. But at the end of the day, the Lord is mad at us because we're not applying in that knowledge. And the Lord calls us a fool to despise these things. I know y'all don't want to look at yourselves as fools, especially the Lord looking at you as a fool. But we got to take time, and we all know that scripture study to show that self-approval. But our nation don't want to do it. They just want to live day to day. Howbeit we came here in slavery. How do you want to live day to day after you've seen what they did to our ancestors and still doing to us today? I don't get it. I don't even understand that thing. We came here in slavery and we got so comfortable and we just living day to day. Don't even care about our nation. Don't even care about our brothers and sisters. Don't even care about how we treating each other. But yet the laws of God will clean us right on up. But don't care. Don't even consider these things. Come on.
Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
See, the Lord said, turn you at my reproof, meaning repent. Repent. Come back to the knowledge of God. Come back to keeping the Sabbath. Come back to keeping the laws of God. But if you don't, read it again.
Because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
See, the Lord is, you see it happening throughout the whole face of the earth. The Lord is stretching out his hand now. He's having certain brothers rise up in the knowledge of God and spreading their light. Spreading their light, showing who you are according to the Bible and what you must do and how you must live your life in righteousness. He's stretching out his hand, but you so-called black and Hispanics, you refuse, man. You refuse. You hear the beautiful things that we could return back into, but you refuse it. We the best creation that God's ever created. Everything that you see upon the face of the earth is for you so-called black and Hispanics. But you refuse it over materialistic things, over your lust. But howbeit, you could obtain these things if you just follow in the words of God and ask for it. You follow in righteousness and ask the Father for it, he gonna bless you for these things. So it is no reason to get trapped behind these things. But we don't even sit back and think. We just trying to buy the next J's that's coming out. We just trying to buy the next designer that's coming out. We don't care about our brother that died yesterday. We don't care about our sister that got raped yesterday. We don't care. We may make mention of it, but we don't do anything that's going to stop it. Come on.
But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
See, now the Lord say he's going to laugh at you. He's going to laugh at your calamity. He's going to mock when your fear cometh, because you had all this time to repent. You had all this time to come back to God. All of this time. I'm pretty sure everybody here, or most of everybody, got some type of Bible in their house where they could have picked up and read and was like, wow, this right here is saying that the Sabbath is on the seventh day and we not supposed to work. But nah, we don't even want to do that. I had a conversation with a Hispanic. He speak broken English, but we sat there at the table, we read. He understood it to be the seventh day, but he came back and told me, he was like, oh no, Sunday. But we have been brainwashed for so long that even though the words on a page of the Bible, it tell you what to do, but we've been taught by precept of man for so long, we just go along with man say. But the Bible say, don't trust in man. Don't lean unto your own understanding. Trust in the Lord. Live by the Lord with your whole heart and your whole mind. But we don't do these things because we so accustomed to this society. Every time we talk to people, they be like, well, how can you accommodate that with today's living? What you mean? Christ told you don't be of the world. Ain't nothing, the scripture say ain't nothing new. We read that, ain't nothing new under the sun. All these things ain't new. This is your culture. This is your heritage. This is not a religion. You can't think of it as a religion. You look at it as your culture, you will already understand that, hey, I got to do this anyway. Because this is my heritage. I'm supposed to be doing this. You don't see the Muslims be like, oh, you know what? We can't act like this. Because today's society, women wear pants. We can't do this. Well, it come to them over time. They start wearing pants. But when they first come here, what you see? They believe in Allah wholeheartedly. But at the end of the day, this is ours. This Bible is ours. It's our heritage. And we have to keep it as written, as it's written. Not as he or she say. Because for hundreds of years, we've been listening to pastor and not reading the pages of the book. But the scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth. We listen to pastor, but all this time, pastor didn't tell you that Christ is a so-called black man. All this time, the pastor didn't tell you the Sabbath was on Friday night to Saturday night. All this time, the pastor didn't tell you the woman is supposed to dress in modest apparel and not wear pants. These are things that when the Lord come back, you're going to get judged by. If you walked according to the word, you won't get judged on these things. But it seemed like as a nation of people, as you so-called black and Hispanics, you're not sitting back and actually thinking that you're going to get judged on these things. Because you're so comfortable in living a lie. As a nation of people, we are so comfortable in living a lie. Hell, just look at it. We call ourselves black, but our skin is brown. Isn't that a lie there itself? Isn't that a lie there itself, sir? Isn't that a lie, sir? How you doing today? Why do we call ourselves black when our skin is brown?
Some of our skin black.
Nah, do you see your pants?
Yeah.
Nobody on the face of the earth is that color.
You don't think so?
They might be close to it, but they not black.
Yeah, they.
Let me ask you a question though, real quick.
One more time. We from out of town. We just got here.
Wait, but still,
Y'all don't never wonder who you were before slavery? Because we wasn't calling ourselves black or African American.
I don't know, bro.
They're right there on that sun right there.
You don't know, y'all don't never wonder these
The highlighted
things?
portion, don't say that we were black before slavery. Say we were called Israelites. They don't teach us that in Black History Month.
Hey, ma'am,
Oh no, they ain't.
you don't never
they
wonder
ain't-
those things?
They ain't gonna teach you none of that.
But we teach
You don't
now.
realize how important that is, though?
Even if we taught it, who got time?
Because everybody else, they got a nation. They got a laws, land, military, government, president, king, God. But you look at us, we came here in slavery and we became so comfortable that we don't even think, who were we before this? We don't even think of what culture we had. Isn't that kind of insane?
Yeah, you right. You right.
But just check that flag out when you can.
All right.
But it's very important because once you do the history, we are God's chosen people.
Oh yeah.
And we have to come back to God's laws.
Right.
But it takes more than just to say you right. It takes more than that. We hear it all the time, man. It's sad in a sense because at the end of the day, we all know action speaks louder than words. And the harsh reality of it is our people, they don't really care for their family. They don't care for their true family, which is their nation. Anything that they got to do is always more important than God. But yet they'll say they love God. They will say these things. They will say they love God, but everything in the world is more important than God. You should be concerned if you see your somebody of your nation out here with signs in the middle of the day on the side of the mall, trying to kick some knowledge to you. At least sit for like a couple minutes, see what's going on, see what we about. We ain't doing nothing but speaking truth. Ain't doing nothing but speaking truth. Get Psalms 94:16. But the harsh reality is we'll say these words but don't have no action behind it and won't stand up for our nation. Won't do anything for our people. But yeah, we see the situations that we're in. We see that we out bad. We see that the cops is killing us. We see that our brothers is killing each other. We see that the hood is in harsh conditions. We see that our brothers, all they do is whore out their women. But we just don't care. This is the reality that we live in. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16. Who shall rise up for me against the evildoers?
Who's going to rise up for the Lord? Who's going to stand up for their people against all these evildoers? This system that we live in is creating laws that a man can now be a woman. You think God is okay with that? This system is creating laws where a grown man can walk in a bathroom full of young girls. You think the Lord is okay with that? But the Lord is asking you, who's going to stand up against these evildoers? Who's going to stand up in righteousness? Because ain't nobody doing it. They seeing all these laws being created. They see all these abominations on the earth. And what they do, they be like, oh, go ahead, go for it. Matter of fact, they take it, they do the BET Awards, and they throw the main event. Who is it? A homosexual. A Jake homosexual. And highlight it. And I was watching a little bit. I couldn't watch that much of it. But I just go to the comments. And all you see is people encouraging Lil Nas X that he's standing up for his what is it? For his choice or whatever, or for his lifestyle. But at the end of the day, we ask people all the time, if you take a group of homosexuals and put them on the land, what's going to happen? They're going to die out because they're not going to produce life. The Lord calls that thing abomination, but you look at the world, they highlight that thing and say, oh, we are so proud of you for standing up for yourself. That doesn't make any sense. But nobody wants to hear the words of the Lord. Nobody wants to understand how to apply yourself when things like these happen. Nobody wants correction. Nobody wants to do the correction but the Israelites. But we all got to start somewhere, man. Come on.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Who will stand up for the Lord against the workers of iniquity? I just mentioned it, Lil Nas X. You go to the comment board, ain't nobody standing up for God. Nobody. All you got to do is type in Lil Nas X and go straight to the comment board. All you see is, oh, I'm so happy for him. He's the hero of the gay community. He's making me rethink myself if I should be gay. I'm looking at these comments, I'm like, yo, what? If this place ain't finished, I don't know what it is. Because if it's this bad right now, imagine 2 years from now. This thing is going to be it's going to be an abomination. It's going to be like Atlanta everywhere. It's going to be like that because ain't nobody doing the correction. They don't have fathers in their house to tell them don't do these things. So now they grow up as an abomination, sad to say. Hey, my man, you want to holler at some truth? You good? Why you don't want to listen? Why you don't want to hear no truth, man? All our life.
Take a flyer.
See, you want to take a flyer real quick? He said he good. All our life we've been calling ourselves black, but our skin brown. All our lives we say we care for another, but we don't even think about how could we fix our communities. We don't sit down and be like, you know what? How do we stop black on black crime? We don't want to listen to no truth. We don't sit back and think, yo, how can these young black men, how can they stop gangbanging? How can we get rid of the gangs? We don't stand up for our people in this type of way. We don't do these things. But howbeit, the Christian church been around for years in and years out. They talk about these things, but no actions are being dealt with. No actions is being put behind our community, the so-called black and Hispanics. No actions are being put behind us. But yet we so comfortable in captivity. We are so comfortable in captivity. We came here in slavery and just don't care about anything else. The only thing we care about is sports. What LeBron gonna do? How many rings LeBron gonna win? Women? Oh, you seen Rebecca last night? I'm trying to get up in her DMs. But you don't care about Raekwon that just died by the police. You don't care about the Raekwon that just shot his own brother. You don't care about these things. These things should make you sad and disheartened, because all the problems that we have, no other nation on the face of the earth go through. No other nation go through the same things we go through. But we don't want to solve these issues. All we want to do is just be seen. Let's get together. Let's join hand in hand with everybody and let's march in the streets. That's all we want to do. And then weeks later, the marching turns into partying. Can I ask you a question, my man? What's your nationality? What would you say your nationality is? Black? But what color is your skin?
Whatever color I want it to be.
No, like for real, like let's be truthful. Let's think. Let's think about these things. So hold this. Well, I'm gonna set that. You see, all these things on this sign right here, it's colors, right? We learn colors in elementary. What color is this crown right here?
Great.
What color is this crown? What color is this crown? All right. So what color is this cat?
Brown.
What color is this dog?
Black.
What color is this young lady?
Black.
You sure?
Whatever. I mean, I don't really know.
Look at your
Brown.
brown. There you
There
go.
we go. That's the right answer. Brown.
That's the right answer.
Brown.
So what color are you?
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
But all our lives we've been calling each other black, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a lie?
Yeah.
It's a lie. Because we're saying that's our nationality. We look at all the other nations on the face of the earth. They got a land, a government, laws, king, or president. Where is the king of black? Where is the president of black? Hell, where is the land of black?
Yeah.
Where is the government? Where's the military of black?
Yeah.
Because we damn sure need the military right now. How many cops killed us? How many of our own died?
Yeah.
Don't we need a military to fight for us? Because if the U.S. did that over there in China, what they gonna do? Oh, they gonna get their military. It's gonna be a war.
Yeah.
But you look at us and we don't even care that our brothers is dying.
I care.
You care.
But it's really nothing that just I can do. We all have to, work together. I mean, just for me putting in my input, I mean, it bothers me. I kind of feel unsafe going outside. But all I can do is just pray.
All you could do is pray. So let's go back to nationality. Well, let me stay on that real quick. You said, so you praying to a God, right? So you believe in God.
Well, that's just what my mom and my grandma and them raised me up to believe in. But sometimes I question all of it because because it's like the stuff that's going on now, and it's like, I mean, who am I really like praying to?
So I get it.
Yeah.
So God, you would call God omnipotent, right? Meaning controller of all things.
Yeah.
So if God controls everything and all these things is happening to us, he's allowing it to happen.
Basically.
Why would he though? Why would he allow that to happen? Because we ain't do nothing wrong, did we?
No.
Because you see the so-called white man, he raped, robbed, and killed people, took people's lands and stuff.
Yeah.
But if we sit back and look, it look like he getting blessed, right? He's ruling the whole earth basically. Them the ones that live in all these mansions. Half of the white people out here, they got rich uncles.
Look at us.
And look at us.
Busting our ass in there. Working a 9 to 5.
And sometimes we gotta work 2 jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. To feed my son. Working too.
And these the only thing that's happening to us. And God is allowing this to happen. You know why? Because number one, we don't even know who we are. That's number one.
Yeah.
Because we came here in slavery and we didn't ever think to who we were before slavery. How did we walk? How did we talk?
Yeah.
How did we treat one another? You want to know who you are? All right, let's get it. Let's get it. So you know what this is right here, right? This is the Holy Bible. This is what your grandmama raised you up in?
Yep.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you basic Bible 101
No,
questions.
I don't know the basic one. Don't put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot.
Let me just ask one.
Okay.
One. What day is the Sabbath?
Don't ask me that. I don't know. I don't know.
So, all right. Let's say you in a household, right?
Okay?
In a household, you got mama and father.
Okay?
In that household, they got rules and regulations, right?
Okay.
Let's say one of the rules is before you go outside and play with your friends, your room got to be clean. You do that. You don't clean your room for weeks in and weeks out. What you think they're gonna end up doing?
Punishing?
They're gonna punish you, right? So, one of the titles of God is Heavenly Father, right? One of His rules and regulations is keep the Sabbath holy. What you think He gonna do if you don't do that? Punish you. That's one of the reasons why our nation is going through something. But you gotta realize who your nation is and why the punishing is only happening to us and not the Chinese man, not the Japanese man, not the Arab man. But watch this. We're gonna get to it real quick. Deuteronomy 1:1. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So these words were speaking to who?
Read it one more time.
Come on.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who was these words speaking to? Speaking to all Israel. So the audience in this book is Israelites from front to end. This whole book is only for one group of people. This book is only for one type of people, but religion will tell you it's for everybody because they deceive the people's mind of what's going on here because our people don't read. They just listen to pastor. But if we will read, we'll realize, hey, how we living is not the same way these words is telling us to live. Come on, 28:15. So we see that these words is speaking to all Israel. So we gonna see what the words tell Israel. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
What's your name?
Tatiana.
Say again. Tatiana. So if the Lord said it shall come to pass, what did come to pass mean?
Wait, so you said it again? Let me process.
All right.
But it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass. What does come to pass mean?
Our life?
Just a sentence, come to pass. If I say it shall come to pass next Thursday, it's going to snow. What I'm saying? I know it's different because we don't speak like this now.
Are you like predicting the future?
There you go.
There you go.
It's a prediction. The Bible calls it prophecy.
Yeah.
So it's something that's going to happen in the future. So the Lord is saying it shall come to pass if the Israelites don't
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Lord commanded Moses to tell the Israelites, if you don't keep the commandments, in the future, curses is going to come upon your nation. Curses is going to come upon them, or punishments. So let's sit back. Let's sit back and think, because we believe in God. Can you give me some commandments? Commandments. Because this is a book of commandments. It's a book of law, statutes, and commandments. And it said, it shall come to pass if the Israelites didn't keep the commandments, curses or punishments is going to happen to them in the future.
So basically, if you don't follow those, then something's going to happen to you?
To the Israelites, yeah. So let's see if we know commandments. Because we don't know who the Israelites are. And it says they're going to get punished for not keeping commandments. So let's see if we know some. You don't. I didn't know some before either.
Yeah, I don't.
So keep that in mind. So is curses good or bad? Because it says curses going to come upon these Israelites.
I don't know whether to take that as good or bad. But in my eyes, I kind of will feel like it's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It is bad. Now let's get a big curse that's going to happen to the Israelites in the future. Now that we live in the future, we can look back and see who the Israelites are. Because this was written over thousands years ago. We're in the future now. And we understand God not to be a liar. If he says something going to happen, something going to happen. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Are you familiar with the story of Moses? You're not? You familiar with him saying, let my people go to Pharaoh?
I think I heard my grandma say that before, yeah.
Did she tell you why Moses went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go?
No.
So the Israelites, when they was in Egypt, they was in slavery. And Moses was an Israelite. So Moses went to Pharaoh and was like, you know what? Let my people out of this slavery. Let them go. And then what happened after that? One day he finally let them go. Remember what happened?
She don't know the Bible like that, bro. Just go to 5 and 6.
All right.
Yeah, I don't really know the Bible like
You don't remember the split of the Red Sea? And all right. I was just saying. Come on.
I mean,
Deuteronomy.
I love to hear it, learn about it, but
Perfect.
I'm just listening.
All right, come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
So the Lord called Egypt bondage. Synonymous. Bondage in Egypt is synonymous. So what's another word for bondage? Bondage.
What does that even mean?
Like you bound. Slavery? Slavery.
Oh, okay, Dad, thank you. Helping me out. You work for me.
So another word for bondage is slavery, because you're in shackles.
Okay.
So let's go back to that verse.
Is he a brother? Is he a brother?
No.
Your co-worker, right?
Yeah, co-worker.
No, like is he one of us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell him to come on over here.
Hey, Dad, come here real quick. All right.
Go ahead, keep
'cause
building.
I got
All
to
right.
go, y'all. I got a haircut for you.
All right, come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Bondage or slavery.
again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
It was the homeland that they were standing on. They're not going to see their homeland again. Come on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen
Slave men
and bondwomen,
and bondwomen. Come on.
and no man shall buy you.
And no man shall redeem you out of that slavery. So we in the future now. It said it's going to come to pass that curses was going to happen to the Israelites. One big curse was they was going to go in slavery on ships. They was not going to see their homeland no more again. And they was going to be sold for slave men and slave women. And nobody's going to redeem them out of that slavery. So who did that happen to? Now that we're in the future.
All of us? Or not us, but,
What's your name?
Dad.
Dev.
That's what he keep reading.
Who was the only group of people that went in slavery on ships? Because it was only one people in history that went on slavery on ships.
Yeah. Like that triangle trade. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it would be the African American people born in that, continent, this Africa.
This don't look familiar? What is...
Over there by Ezra.
That don't look familiar? Your ancestors went in slavery on ships.
That's why we don't have like real last names.
Right.
Go, yeah.
All your last names is from your slave master.
Like Hamilton, Alexander, Hamilton.
Get that.
Mr. O'Connor.
This is
What is your real name?
Malcolm X.
Is that your legal name?
As far as I'm concerned, it's my legal name.
Have you been to court to establish that you are?
I didn't have to go to court to be called Murphy or Jones or Smith. Excuse me for answering you this way.
That's
if
all right.
a Chinese person were to say his name was Patrick Murphy, you would look at him like he's insane, because Murphy is an Irish name, a European name, or the name that has a Caucasian or white background. And a yellow person, Chinese is a yellow man, and he has nothing to do or no connection whatsoever with the name Murphy. And if it doesn't look proper for a person who is yellow or Chinese to be walking around named Murphy or Jones or Johnson or Bunch or Powell, I think it would be just as improper for a black person or the so-called Negro in this country, as we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to walk around with these names. And therefore he teaches us that during slavery, the same slave master who owned us put his last name on us to denote that we were his property. So that when you see a Negro today who's named Johnson, if you go back in his history, you'll find that he was once his grandfather, or one of his forefathers was owned by a white man who was named Johnson. If his name is Bunch, his grandfather was owned by a white man that was named Bunch.
Would you mind telling me what your father's last name was?
My father didn't know his last name. My father got his last name from his grandfather, and his grandfather got it from his grandfather, who got it from the slave master. The real names of our people were destroyed during slavery.
Was there any line, any point in the genealogy of your family when you did have to use the last name? And if so, what was it?
The last name of my forefathers was taken from them when they were brought to America and made slaves. And then the name of the slave master was given, which we refuse. We reject that name today.
You mean you won't even tell me what your father's supposed last name was or gifted last name was?
I never acknowledge it whatsoever.
Get that. This is another curse. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And now shall become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword.
A proverb and a byword. A byword is something called outside of your name. That's another curse. Now we not going by who we once were. We going by another name. That's a byword.
It's like, you know how like immigrants, like I guess most recent, I don't know, there could be more that happen right now. I really don't know. I know the most recent one would be like, Asian people come over here and have like kind of difficult last names. Like their last names are just something that we can't pronounce. So the government just gives them like their full name that they change. It's like, people named Long, or like, something like that. Like, just those type of names, they'll change them over to something more American.
So, Tatiana, so if the Lord said in the future the Israelites was going to go on slavery on ships, and we look at today, we don't even know our nationality. And that happened to our ancestors. They went on slavery on ships. We're the children of the slaves. What would that make us? Huh?
Damn, he got that joint quick as hell.
He was listening to his car.
He's smart. He's really smart.
I just dropped out.
Do you agree though?
I guess. I'm just listening and learning new things, and I kind of...
What is your last name?
Get Amos 3.
Thompson. Your name is not a real last name. Thompson.
What is it? What's real last names?
Whoever you're
Why would I
very
be called,
ancient.
like let's say, why would I be called, my last name is Gibson?
Why would my last name be, like why would it be Gibson? If we claim, people always talk about we come from Africa, which the history disputes that. But that's what people claim. Even if you were from Africa, you think people from Africa last name is Gibson or Washington, Thompson? That's what we talking about. We've taken our last names from our oppressors from slavery. They gave you because they owned you as property. So they called you Washington. They called you all these different things. So you're walking around with somebody else's name that you don't even relate to. That's why another white person got the same last name as you.
Just in case you don't. You coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why white people can have the same last name as you. That don't make any sense. We're not the same people. Why would your people have the same last name as me? That don't make no sense. But since you was taken as property and ownership, they dealt with you accordingly. You're my possession, so I call you whatever I want. And now we've adopted those and become comfortable with it, and we just write those things down like they don't think about it. On job applications, it's how do you call me Mr. Washington? You got some people out here named Mr. White. It's kind of weird. It's weird. But you wouldn't see another white person named Mumbada. You wouldn't see that. That's the difference.
So we realize that we the Israelites today. We realize these things, and we realize that a curse came right on time. A curse happened to us, even this is more curses, happened to us because we didn't what? Tatiana, because we didn't what?
A curse happened to us because we didn't,
We didn't keep what?
What is our race really called?
what is the word? Say it to me again.
Commandments.
Yeah, there we go. I knew something. There we go.
Law, statutes, and commandments. So if these things happen to us because we didn't keep God's law and God allowed it to happen to us for punishment, what should we do now?
I'm not sure. Tell me.
So
How do I do that?
how would you be? Let's say you're in a household, your mom and dad got rules and regulations. They put you in punishment because you didn't keep the rules and regulations. What do you have to do to get off punishment?
Do what I have to do.
That's what?
It's like indenture.
Say again?
Indenture, like you can just say, pay off the debt.
Nah. Let's say your mom and dad wants you to, in the month of December, you have to make A, B's, and C's in school. You was making D's and F's, so you got put on punishment. What do you have to do to get off that punishment? A's, B's, and C's. You gotta go back to the rules and regulations. That's what we have to do with God. God cursed us as a people because we not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, aka rules and regulations. We come back to that, then get Deuteronomy 7:6. Then it's a whole different light on our people. Then we can come back to righteousness. Then we can be that chosen nation that God wants us to be. Because if you look on the world today, how you think all the other nations look at us?
Right now they're looking down.
They looking down.
I don't want to cut you off.
That's cool. It's
I
cool.
gotta get my hair cut. I'm going out of town tomorrow. This right here. How do I? So do you guys always do this, or like? How
You
do
go to
do it?
place to place, but there's a number on that flyer you can call.
Yeah, because I definitely want to listen to this and learn a lot of stuff.
You want to give them the YouTube or whatever?
Yeah, free TV 12.
Free TV 12.
It's the
Yeah.
YouTube. But Darren, check this out. This is how God will view you if you come back to the laws.
I am deaf.
Dev, my bad. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry, man. Dev. You said that Dev, right? All right, check this out.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
No problem.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See that? God looks at the so-called black and Hispanics, and he looks at them above all people upon the face of the earth. Not equal to. We in a situation right now where we asking the same people that put our ancestors in slavery, we asking them to make us equal. We're begging them to say that your life matters. What sense does that make? Why are you begging another nation to say that your life matters? But God looks at you above all these people. But the thing is, Dev, we have to realize that this is our heritage. It's not a religion. This is our heritage. The way that Christianity taught us was wrong. The way that the pastors taught us was completely wrong. Everything that they say and do don't line up with God's rules and regulations. Because they go to church when? Sunday. But God said the Sabbath is the seventh day. Today is the seventh day of the week. He said today you're supposed to have a holy convocation. Not Sunday. They said that Christ looked white. Didn't they? What? You know what color Christ is?
Because if they started skin tone,
Right. He had woolly hair, right? Only so-called African Americans, so-called black people have woolly hair. If he walked the earth today and somebody called the cops on him, they was like, yo, give me a description what you see. And they use that scripture, they go and say he was a black man, African American. But howbeit, he's kin to us, the greatest man that ever walked the earth. He's from the tribe of Judah. What's your nationality? What would you say your nationality is? Same tribe you from. The greatest man that ever walked the earth is your exact nationality. You know how that should make you feel, man? That should make you feel some type of joy. So, how long was you listening when you walked over?
I just heard you ask her like 3-4 times. Yeah, bondage. And I was like, I did not know bondage. But yeah, only from there, I just put my phone in so not that bad.
So you didn't hear anything before that? Read them 15 real quick. We talked about it a little bit before she left. But I know your time is limited because you got to hit that punch in button. I know I hate that thing too. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So curses, this was being told to the Israelites. Curses was going to happen to the Israelites in the future if they didn't keep the commandments. They obviously didn't keep the commandments. So curses is going upon them now. That's how we can see who the Israelites are, God's chosen nation, who they are by the curses. Did you hear the curse that we read? Nah, you was right here when we read it, right? The slave ships.
I didn't hear it. I mean, I heard you say it. I didn't hear the whole thing.
So what did the Lord call bondage? You remember that? No, what did he call bondage? Bondage means slavery because I was asking her what it meant. But what did the Lord call bondage? Let's read it for me.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
So he brought the Israel out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So the Lord is calling Egypt bondage. They're synonymous. You see what I'm saying? So go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Come on.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Egypt meaning what? And what does bondage mean? Slavery. Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord shall bring you into bondage again with ships, slavery again with ships. And I believe you was up here because I asked, who was the only people that went on slavery with ships? African Americans, right? But what does the Lord call these people? Israelites.
That's right.
So what does that make you? You're an Israelite.
All praises.
Yeah, so the people who came over to take them kind of changed their name from Israelites.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
But you are, Gav, you are God's chosen nation though. We just read that they're supposed to be above all the nations on the face of the earth. But howbeit we low because we left from our heritage. Now we're receiving the punishment. Going back to the commandments, not Christianity,
Here goes this.
the truth. Because Christianity done lied to us day in and day. If Christianity was the truth, we would have been out of this thing a long time ago. We would have been we would have been in the kingdom of heaven. Because the kingdom of heaven is rulership. It's not a place in the sky. It's going to be on earth, and the Israelites is going to be ruling the whole earth in righteousness. So this is what we have to sit back and read and understand commandments, because the church ain't teach us correctly, because they telling us it's only 10. But how was Moses in the mount for 40 days and 40 nights only came back with 10 laws? That don't make any sense. It's the commandments is this whole book. You see these brothers that got the things at the end of their shirts? This is a commandment that we have to keep. This is our culture. This is our dress code that we supposed to be wearing. Get that for the brother. All right, go ahead. Numbers 15 and 38.
It's two different
Start at 37. Come on.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 37.
Look on your other flyer there.
And the Lord spake unto Moses,
Other one.
saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
So the Lord spoke unto. All right. So you can follow along. Read it again from the side. Come on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
So which is who? Speak unto the children of Israel,
Us.
which is us. Come on.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
So throughout their generations is how long? Forever. So on the borders of their garments, they gotta make fringes. Come on.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So upon the fringe, you gotta put a ribbon of blue. This is law. This is for your dress code. Come on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
So this is a great thing to have, because it reminds you to keep the commandments of God. It reminds you to stay away from the curses that's coming on our people. Because this is how you create peace with the Most High, by coming back to what He said to do. Whatever the Heavenly Father said to do, you look at your friends, oh, I ain't supposed to be buying and selling today, because today is the Sabbath. You're not supposed to be buying and selling. You're not supposed to be working. You're not supposed to be cooking. But we don't know these things because we fell away from our Heavenly Father. We fell away, but now it's time to get ourselves together and come back. Because every time something happens to our people, what's the number one thing we say? We got to get together. We got to get together. We get together, but we don't know how to get together. We don't come up with the solution how to come together and fix the problems that we have. We just come together, march, then the marching turns into partying, then the partying turns into dancing, singing and having a good time. But yet every time we doing that, the cops still killing us in the streets. We still killing each other. We still selling drugs to each other. And we still whoring out our women. But yet we come together with this, how the Lord told us to come together, you're going to slowly stop seeing all them things happen in our community. Because the Lord said, love your brother as you love yourself. So why would you sell drugs to your brother? The Lord say, love your brother as you love yourself. So why would you go behind his back and deal with the woman he dealing with? All these things is going to clean our nation up. All of it. The laws of God is so beautiful, man. But we don't want to take time to sit back and read this thing. You got any questions? You got a phone, right?
Yeah.
All you got to do is, yeah, 1611 King James Version.
This is a Holy Bible with the pocket, so they never teach from that. These were the original print. So the beginning of this will look like this. You have Genesis to Malachi. You know the books of the New Testament, Matthew, and Galatians. They don't teach you about the events of the Apocrypha, but it's actually these were originally printed in there, but they stopped taking these or reprinting the books with these, because these have, like in the book of Maccabees, it tells you about Alexander the Greek, as they call him, the Great. You'll read about Antiochus Epiphanes. All these guys were Greek, so they were so-called white men, and it tells you the history of them. This was written way before Alexander the Greek was even born.
That's why it's a prophetic book. So all this stuff, you're just reading from Genesis to Revelation, all of it is history. It's all about one nation of people, and they started taking these out because even in, where's it at? This book, The Wisdom of Solomon, in chapter 14, it tells you that white people are going to take the image of Christ and make him white and make the world believe that he was white. All this stuff is already written in here, but they don't want you reading this because what happens if you come back to your laws and understand who you are, then the Lord's going to take you and our nation and put us back on top. What's going to happen to the people that's ruling things? They're going to be put back on the bottom. So they do everything that they can in entertainment, sports, whatever it may be, to deceive you and make you think about anything outside of this. If you ever want to get into this, they'll tell you go to church. So the pastor can feed you more lies and pay tithes and never come back to understanding who you are.
Where is the king of black? Where is the president of black? Hell, where is the land of black? Where's the government? Where's the military of black?